Hey there, this is Cheryl with Sew Glue and Cheryl 2. We are in an event today. So if you're seeing this part, you're likely seeing the replay. So hashtag replay and let me know that you are here. When you do come in and you see the red live, that means you've caught me live. So we're here just a couple minutes early to allow for getting shared into the group. So give me just a minute while we're waiting. And I will get myself shared out there as well. And we'll be rolling. So we're here just a couple. There we go. Sorry about that. It's always weird to hear yourself. Okay. I'm just going to share myself out for in a couple spots here. And then I can get on my phone and get my comments up and rolling. So we can see that. Okay, come on in. Let me know that you are here. Say hi. I'm just getting myself shared out. We're in an event today. We're a little early. Just waiting for the message to say I'm ready to rock and roll. Okay. Unfortunately, the way Mr. FB is working lately. Thank you, Deborah. I appreciate you sprinkling me out. I used to be able to see comments on my computer and they would scroll just nicely, but no, ma'am, not happening anymore. So let me pull up myself on my phone. So I can actually see the comments. All right. Come on in and let me know you're here. And just sending myself out in a couple spots here real quick. Pardon me. Okay. All right. And we are at the top of the hour, so I think I can probably start rolling. We are in an event today. It is Craft Events by that was yesterday. I apologize. Hi, Julie. There she is. Hi, Julie. Thank you for joining and sprinkling. We are in Sacred Treasure House today. Sorry, too many things going on and my brain can't keep up. So Sacred Treasure House, we are in an event at Cinco de Mayo event where you could cook or you could craft. Now, the irony of the whole thing, hi Lisa, welcome in. The irony of the whole thing is that all but 3 of us so far have decided to craft. Everybody else is cooking. There's only 3 of us that crafted. Of course, Ronnie decided to do something similar to what I was doing. But it's okay because I have a variation on it that she wasn't doing. So I do not have like a wreath for my door just for Cinco de Mayo. So I cut out a piece of cardboard in a kind of a small wreath frame. And I actually made some tissue paper flowers ahead of time. When I go to Mexico, you see them like in their markets all over the place. These big, huge, giant tissue paper flowers. Hi, Crystal. Welcome in. I'm Cheryl with Sew Glue and Cheryl 2. I don't know if you're new to me or not, but I would I'd appreciate if you like what you see. Send, just do a like and a follow. I would appreciate it. You can also do exclamation notify and you'll get notified. The exclamation notify is the chat bot, and that will actually set it up so that you can get notified when I go live. But with the crazy day, I totally forgot. I also have exclamation Telegram. So if you have a Telegram channel and you want to be notified, except for today, I forgot to notify on Telegram, but you know, it's been a day. It's been actually the last 2 days have been a day. Hi, Sib. Welcome in. Hi, Ronnie. Oh, you should have let me go first. Nah, no, I'll show you just kind of what I did. And so I actually cut out a piece of cardboard. I don't have like anything to decorate for Cinco de Mayo, you know, but I thought maybe I should. Thank you for sprinkling. I appreciate that, Ronnie. So the size of the flower depends upon, and most of you already know this, the size of your tissue paper. So I did not want large flowers because I don't have a very big, as you can see, a very big ring. And I wanted to put these flowers just kind of around in a circle. And then I thought maybe I might be able to either print something or make a banner or something in order to kind of say Cinco de Mayo. And so what I decided to do was I took big, huge pieces of tissue paper and I folded them in half. I layered, this is six layers of colored tissue paper. And I just, in order to get a variation on the flower, I just kind of mixed up the tissue papers. So I'll show you after you fold it in half because it's gigantic, you cut it in half and then you take that piece, you fold it in half again. And I'll show you later once I clear off my desk with this. Yeah, it's a Monday on a Tuesday. You're doggone right, Subs. It's crazy. It just hasn't stopped since I don't know. Is it a full moon? Is it a full moon? Hi, Barbara. Welcome in. Good to see you. Thank you for the 5-star rating. I appreciate that. So I get too busy at talking and I enjoy talking to you guys and then I never get anything done. So after doing it a couple different times, you end up with a kind of a square. And yes, a lot of times you want to use a square, but I want my flowers to be smaller than that. And I didn't want them any smaller. So what I did was we're going to cut this in half. And I just kind of creased it. Whoops, I think I'm missing a layer. Yep. Let me cut the red one real quick. So I just creased the tissue paper and it makes, and it, you know, to be honest, it doesn't have to be perfect because when you fold the tissue paper, it's amazing. It's very, very forgiving. Okay. So, now I have 6, you kind of see kind of in the oblong or rectangle shape. And the way I'm going to do the flowers is I'm going to use the short side. So you can just take them and stack them up and get a layer of tissue. I have this one kind of already layered as well. So when you stack them up, you're going to take the short side and whatever side you want to be the inside color. So it depends upon, you're on your personal page for a bit that they put you in a timeout. Well, I appreciate you coming in nonetheless. So whatever color you want to be your inside is the color that you have facing up, and it'll be your first fold. So you, and I would say about an inch, or you could do about 3/4 of an inch when you do your fold. And this is that's kind of, you fan fold it back and forth, kind of like what Ronnie was doing. She was doing great. And, it doesn't have to be perfect because ultimately in the end, you're peeling the pieces apart. So the fold just kind of needs to be over on top of each other, but it does not have to be like absolute. And so I have 12 pieces of tissue paper and my taco costume, no, that's Kathy. Yeah, she's the taco sister. So, so now you got it in your fan, and you can use wire, you can use whatever. I happen to have some pipe cleaners, so I just cut pipe cleaners in half, and you want to tie it in the center, and you can kind of, in order to make sure that you're in the center, you could tie it in the center, and I tie it in the center first, and I just kind of tie it pretty tightly. And on the ends, and I'm going to do it over the garbage can here because it does kind of make it a mess, is you're going to kind of cut a circle. And I know it's kind of a replay of what you've seen Ronnie do, but let me cut the other side. So you cut both ends. And it makes a mess when you do cut. The tissue paper goes all over the place. That's why I do it in the garbage. Okay, so you end up with your rounded ends and corners. So you open your flower back up. So you just open your fan back up. Because you kind of got you can see the makings of a flower. And then what you start doing is pulling your pieces, your tissue paper, and you just kind of pull your tissue paper into the center. And you just have to kind of keep doing that layer after layer. Hopefully I can do this quickly because there's 12 layers, and it does kind of take a little bit of time depending upon how big you want to make your flower. But I decided that I wanted to have the yellows in center, but then everything else, and I don't know if you can see here on these two, I put the yellow in the center because, and then there's yellow and orange. And I did that purposefully because I want the yellow to be in the center of my flower. And so as you start kind of just pulling in, so you separate the layers and you start just kind of pulling in, and you don't have to, you don't have to be so worried about it being perfect. You just kind of start pulling the ends into the center. Eventually it's going to get to the point where your flower, you're almost not going to be able to pull the tissue paper in. And so you start working from the back, and then because tissue paper, hi Christina, welcome in. Thank you. Oh, your therapy went good today. Perfect. I'm happy to hear that. You keep that up, girl. Before long, you're going to be back to normal. And then you'll just kind of keep working the different layers. So now I'm in the green, you can see, and I work all the way around the flower in all the layers. That way you can kind of keep working to the center. And it's okay if you rip it, you're not going to see it after essentially the flower is pulled in. Let me see if I can get this, try to do this quickly, because it's, I know, kind of boring. But this is what I think of when I go to Mexico, or I think about Mexico and Cinco de Mayo. They have these all over the place. These and piñatas. Piñatas are like, they have them in all colors. They're just amazing. It's amazing culture and traditions that they have. Okay. So now you can see I'm now working on the blue. And this time on this particular layer of flower, I put the double colors together. You can't, you don't have to. I did on this one, but on the next one, it won't be. They'll be all kind of mixed up. So depending upon what you want your flowers to look like, you can kind of mix it up. And there's all kinds of, I mean, I imagine that these would be pretty with some of the other, like, I saw that you, Ronnie had some really pretty, like, pink and, like, purple, I think. I didn't have any of that in my stack. And by the way, I got, hello. I went to Walmart. This pack, $1. And the great thing about it is it says it's made in the USA. That is, like, fabulous. Because not very often do you go to Walmart and you find things that are made in the USA. But just saying. Okay. So now as I finish my blue, it's getting harder to kind of pull the tissue paper to the center because the center is kind of filled up. And hi, Kathy. I think I might have missed you, but I saw that Sib was talking to you, so I forgot to say hi. Sorry. I was more worried about talking too much. Me too. Yeah, Cheryl too. Hi, Linda. Welcome in. If you're new to me, I am Cheryl with So Glue and Cheryl too. And I would love a like and a follow if you like what you see. And I have the exclamation notify to be notified when we go live. And we are in an event today with Sacred Treasure House. I want to thank our admins. Sorry, I have to touch my finger to get sometimes the tissue paper is so stuck together. I want to thank our admins. Today is Deborah with Sacred Sew, Lisa with Lisa's Craft House, and I think Tanya with Timeless Treasures might be missing in action today. I think probably had to work or something. But anyway, I want to thank them. And we had a huge lineup today of stellar, mostly cookers today. Everybody was cooking. Yes, Ronnie. I was watching too. I just was trying to also get ready, so I didn't comment much, but I did do the sprinkle and all of that. So thank you. And thank you, Kathy, for sprinkling. We started out this morning with Julie with Wood Kits, Julie's Wood Kits and More. And she was in the kitchen and she had her Mexican fiesta. She was making all kinds of things, and then we went to Leslie, who wasn't sure what Cinco de Mayo was all about, but that's okay. She made a cute little can, and it was going to be like making noise in the backyard. I think she was planning on. Oh, she's working and she's sick. Oh my gosh, she got the double whammy. I'm sorry. And then after Leslie, we had Deborah jump in, and she was doing some cooking. She baked a beautiful cake. I didn't get to comment, but I did get to watch her here and there in between activities for work. And then after Deborah, we had Lisa. Lisa was in the kitchen too. She was trying to make what looked like to me, I couldn't listen, but I did have her on. Looked like you were trying to make hamburger or like cheeseburger tacos type of thing or something. It looked fun, but for what I could see. And then after that we had Jeannie with Clifton's Crafty Casa, and Jeannie actually made enchiladas, chicken enchiladas. They look delicious. And I was going back and forth on whether I was going to cook today or whether I was going to craft today. And because my refrigerator is full of leftovers, I decided I needed to craft, because we need to eat the leftovers first before we go cooking anything new. But I will. I promise you, one of these days. Hi, Boom. Welcome in. I promise you, one of these days I will cook. I will be out cooking. All right. And then, so the squirrel, right? So after Jeannie, then was Kathy in her taco costume. If you missed it, you need to go back and watch it because that was cute. And she's always a gas on the lives. And I unfortunately had customer meetings. I had her on, but I didn't get to see what she was actually cooking. Tacos. Did you make tacos, Kathy? Everybody's food made me hungry throughout the day. I unfortunately did a lot of extra snacking today because I was watching everybody cook. And then after Kathy was Ronnie, and she made, and you did a great job, Ronnie. You, regardless if you remembered how to make tissue paper flowers or not, you did a great job. So Ronnie was up just before me with Ronnie's Chaotic Crafts. And then there's myself. And then right after me is going to be Lyndall with Lyndall's Craft Escape. So I'm not sure what she's going to do. She's always got something new and crazy up her sleeve. And then after that is somebody fairly new to me, which is Kat with the Crafting with Kat Creation. So I'm looking forward to seeing Kat. Okay, so here we go. So now you can kind of see. So that's the back. So I kind of had to start pulling the other way. But when you do that, then you can just kind of push it and it will actually flatten out. So, and it's amazing how it works. So then you have your tissue flower. So what I did was I cut the extra little stem off from this, and then I didn't turn my hot glue gun back on. And what do you know, the battery's dead, so bear with me for just a second. I got my chargers back here. They're handy, but they're not easy to get to. Okay. All right. Sorry, I had to look at my large backside. You had fun doing it. So yeah, really, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hot glue the next flower on right there. So as soon as the glue gun works back up. So let's work on another tissue paper flower here as we go. And now I'm just going to kind of stack them up a little bit better. These are not in any order, any rhyme or reason. So I've just got the tissue paper, and they don't have to be perfect. They don't have to be perfect. So you take your stack of paper. Okay, and I kind of do the zigzag fold or the fan fold, whatever you want to call it. You just kind of whip it out pretty quickly. And I'm thinking, so as I get these flowers built out, I may have a few areas that maybe a smaller flower would work to fill in so that let that go. So you may see a little bit of cardboard here, and so I can make a smaller flower just to kind of stick there to fill in the gaps. But I want to get the bigger flowers on first, so that's why I was just trying to make the flowers quickly. You can use wire also to tie these. I did pull out. I had some wire strips that I don't even remember what I had them from, but you can use that. But I was just using, because I have a whole bunch of pipe cleaners. So, and you can kind of fold your flower in half to find the center if you want. You don't have to. you can just kind of eyeball it. It doesn't really matter. There's no requirement. Hi, Ramona. Welcome in. Good to see you. All right. So now I'm going to, oops, let me get that a little bit tighter so that it doesn't fall apart. Now, so the tighter that you have it, the better off you're going to be with pulling your tissue paper together to make the flower. All right. So I'm going to trim my corners again on my flower. Get those trimmed real quick. Like I said, because you're going to be pulling the layers of the flower out, it does not have to be perfect. Okay. So what you're going to do is, again, kind of pull your flower out. Oh, okay. No problem, Christina. You do what you need to do. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. All right. So now once you kind of spread your flower out, and it'll just kind of start staying there. And I'm sorry, I have to lick my finger because the tissue paper, otherwise you can't grab it. So I just kind of start working in to the center. And because it's puckered in the center, it just stays. It's amazing. And I always love seeing the bright colors that the flowers make. When I've been to Cancun, I've had an opportunity, all of the, of course, tourist spots, Puerto Vallarta, Cabo San Lucas, even have been to, now I'm doing a brain dead on the name of the little town just over the border. Oh, Tijuana. I've even been to Tijuana. All right. It's only been as of recent. I was in Tijuana. I had been in Tijuana once when I was younger with my girlfriend. But that was, we just went over the border for a little bit to kind of experience Mexico and say that we had been to Mexico. And so it wasn't until I met my husband and we started doing a little bit more traveling did we get a chance to go see all the cool places that they have in Mexico. One of the places that we went to is one of the Mayan ruins, which is Tulum. And so if you ever, that's over by, you can go to Tulum separately, or you can, if it's not far from Cancun. So if you haven't ever been to Tulum, it's a beautiful, it's amazing, the ruins, and you get a little tour of a little bit about their history. Okay. I'm trying to work quick. I'm sorry. Okay. So it's amazing. It's like you'd think it wouldn't take that long, but 12 pieces of, because I took 6 pieces and stacked them on top of each other, ended up with 12 pieces. It can be quite time consuming. So I'll have this wreath done by the time Cinco de Mayo is over with. It's like, So besides cooking good food, are there any other traditions that you guys have for like Cinco de Mayo? I mean, I know usually if you don't have a Hispanic background, you may not, but sometimes families get together and have fun. Come on in. Say hi. Let us know you're here. I am Cheryl with Sew Glue and Cheryl too. We are in a craft event today, Sacred Treasure House. All right. Let me see. I think I could probably get one more color turned up this way, and then I'm going to have to start working the other direction. And you just kind of keep working. I'll probably be doing this and watching TV tonight. Hi, Deb. Welcome in. New to my page. Well, thank you. Let me see if I can read the whole. Thank you for sprinkling me out. I appreciate you coming in, joining us, and hopefully you'll like what you see and you'll like and follow my page. I appreciate all the help. Not that I have been paying attention, because to be honest, it has been the Lord Almighty that has brought me all of my followers. I started out this adventure. I created my page in September, and you have to wait for a pretty significant long period of time when you create a page to be able to go live. And so I waited until November. I couldn't go live until November. And then, and you have to have like 100 followers at minimum for that. And the Lord brought me more than 100. So I was blessed at that point. And then I just kind of started going live and participating in some events, and now I am 900 and something. It's crazy, 900 followers. So I am like getting ready to celebrate and have 1,000 followers. It's crazy. Never in a million years did I ever think that I would hit that milestone. Yes, up next is Lindell's Craft Escape, and we'll tune in and see what she has for us today. And I think while I'm working on this, hopefully, oh yeah, it looks like the hot glue gun is really close to being hot. So I'll finish pulling this tissue paper apart, and then we'll start gluing the flowers down again to the. Sorry, I know it's like, ugh, I'm licking my finger. I just have to wet it a little bit in order to get the tissue paper, because if you guys have worked with tissue paper enough, you know. I'm not showing anything new. Okay, so now I'm gonna pull the last two pieces, and I'm kind of working backwards. Backwards meaning that I'm pulling the two apart and pulling the very bottom one apart from the second, so you can kind of see it's into the back. But when you start moving it, this tissue paper is very, very, very forgiving. Oh, I got one more to pull on this side. Pull them apart, and then you can just kind of start pushing the layers forward There we go. Okay. So now you just take the back pieces that you kind of pulled, because all you really are doing is you're just trying to separate the colors. All right. So let me go ahead and trim off. Okay. All right. I'm going to fold over the... Okay, and I'm just going to dump a whole lot of hot glue right there and let it... I got to just kind of hold it for a second. And maybe 4 more. Maybe 4 more, and I'll have the wreath actually made. And if you have, you could probably add ribbon to this. You could do all kinds of things. Let me see if I want to make sure that it's sticking. Hold it down for just a minute. The worst thing to do is to have to watch glue dry. I know, it's like crazy. All right. And then you can kind of just fluff and move some of the tissue around so that you can have your flowers kind of fluff out. So, oh, that's one of those where the glue wasn't dry. This is a high temp hot glue gun. So it takes a minute for the glue to cool down. But this is where we're at. I think it's going to be really colorful. I got glue strings all over the place. So I think what I'm going to do is, let's test it out and see. Okay. All I now have is big sections, and I'll show you guys what I did. Okay, so these are the big pieces and sections of tissue paper, and I'll kind of show you what. So I just took a variety, the colors I had, stacked them up on top of each other. And let me kind of get, so that when I cut, so I fold them in half and just kind of make a crease. And then you can cut them right down. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if we can make some smaller ones that we're going to go in between and fill in the gaps on the cardboard so the cardboard is not seen. Okay. So I am just kind of, and yeah, it gets a little bit crazy. Sometimes it's just a little easier if you line up your tissue paper. And so I folded it in half again so that you have a square. Let's see here. Okay, I'm just going to cut this one. So this is kind of back to the square that I was sharing with you in the beginning that I had cut. So I've got this square, if you will. Let me cut this other one here real quick so that and then these are the squares that I cut in half to make the size flower that I did. So let me, sorry, I lost my center. There we go. Okay. So I've got my square. Okay. And that's got 6 different colors of tissue paper that I just kind of stacked over on the top of them. This is where, then from this size, I cut it down to another half of the square. This is the size that makes these size flowers. We're gonna see if we can't make them a little bit smaller. I probably won't. Yeah, I'm not sure that 12 pieces of tissue paper will work very well for small, but we're gonna see. We're gonna see. Okay, let me get that tissue paper out of the way. Then I'm gonna fold this one in half. We're gonna cut it again. Now we're talking itsy bitsy size. All right, let's see what happens. I'm gonna, because it's gonna be smaller, I'm gonna put the like colors together. That way you might be able to see the colors a little bit better. Now we are in a square shape. Okay. All right. Now let's see if we can, and I'm probably not going to make my fan folds as large as what I did on the other sides. The larger the flower, the larger the fan fold, so it makes it easier. On the smaller the flower, you probably have to fan fold it a little bit smaller, because that way you'll have it actually come out looking like a flower instead of something that I don't know what it would look like if you had larger fan fold. But so we are just kind of folding away, and I'm gonna go ahead and trim around the edges here. We're going to see what it looks like. And I think instead of using a pipe cleaner on this one, because it's so small, let's see what happens if I use the wire. I have this pre-cut wire that is like floral wire that came in, I don't have any idea. It came in like probably a package of stuff that I, from a kit or something, who knows. But it's real thin gauge floral wire. And so I'm gonna, let's see, kind of gauge where that halfway mark is. And I'm gonna try to get that tight as possible. Okay. So then you're going to open up your flower. Thank you, everybody, for coming in and watching. We are in an event today, and the event is Sacred Treasure House. And today is Cinco de Mayo. All right. So let's see. It doesn't want to open up quite as well. And it's still an awful big flower. Let's see what happens when we start pulling our tissue in. It might close up a little bit. If you can just see kind of, it kind of looks like a butterfly at the moment. But let's see. Let's see how this goes. And if it's still, because it might even still be too big for those gaps, but we'll see. All right. So while I am doing this, I'm working on this flower. What I want to do is find out, do we have any prayer requests, so that at the end I will say a prayer. And I will pray for anybody who has any prayer requests. Okay. That's actually not turning out too bad. Pulling the colors kind of in, and you can kind of see as I'm separating them. It's working. It's amazing. Amazing what you can do with tissue paper, huh, folks? All right. We're almost to the end of this one. And hot glue gun is still on. Okay, so I'm going to work from the back and pull the last few layers kind of into the back part, and then we'll move them back toward the front. Has anybody been to, give me some hearts if anybody has been to Mexico, or, and it doesn't matter if you went to one of the touristy spots or not. Give me some hearts if you guys have been to Mexico, had an opportunity to travel and see some of the world. Hey, quite a few. Right on. Where has everybody gone? Just comment in there if it's Cancun or Puerto Vallarta or Cabo San Lucas, or no judgment, even if it's just been to Tijuana. Okay, there we go. Actually, kind of turned out pretty nice. Okay. So let's go over here and see how this will fit in our wreath. I'm going to clip off this wire. I think the wire works well for the smaller stuff. The bigger flowers, you can still use the pipe cleaners. But I think for the smaller, the wire is just small enough it gives you room to work your flower. Okay, so all right, we're going to see if we can get enough glue in there to glue that flower in. Okay, and I'm kind of smashing it. Hi, Tasha, welcome in. I'm kind of smashing it at the moment. It's just because I'm trying to get it to stay down there in the glue and dry for a minute, but you can always fluff it back up. So we are in an event today, Sacred Treasure House, and because it's Cinco de Mayo, we're celebrating Cinco de Mayo today. It's kind of taking a hot minute to dry. How are you today, Tasha? I was calling for prayer requests. Do you have any prayer requests? All right. There we go. It is wanting to pull away from and it's just not completely dry yet. But there you go. Now you can kind of see. And you just have to kind of, I stuck my finger kind of in the middle of it and smashed it up. But tissue paper is very forgiving, and it will. So it just, and then I can do it so you guys can't really see it, but I can, the cardboard. And so I'll just make smaller ones to kind of fill in some of the gaps when I do. But I'll go ahead. This one is another to be able to make, because it's only the 6 layer, remember on the other one. You're good. I'm glad to hear that. I am doing fabulous. Today is a great day. It's been a busy day at work. Okay, it's been, like Sib said, it's a Monday on a Tuesday, but it's okay. You know, we're almost over. So I am not going to make this small one, but I am putting the colors together because it seems like it's a little bit brighter on the smaller flowers to put the colors next to each other. So I'm doing that, and we can make a small one after. And I'm going to come back here to this bigger stack that I have. We're going to cut it in half, and then we're going to make some bigger flower. I still have several big flowers to make. But yes, so if you have prayer requests, please go ahead. Feel free to ask. Somebody had mentioned to me that we needed to still continue to pray for our friend Risa. I don't know how she's doing, but I would love to pray for Risa. I haven't seen her in anything lately, and so I hope she's healing. All right, so I'm just cutting that square of tissue paper in half. And as you all know, I've told you. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing on these. I'm going to put the like colors together. It seems to just make the colors stand out a little bit brighter, in my opinion. And it's a very humble opinion. You don't have to, you can do what you want. There's all kinds of colors of tissue paper that are out there. You can make all kinds of colors. This just only happened to be the color options I had for the tissue paper I could find. I didn't have enough tissue paper so I had to go buy some. All right, so on this particular one, I can go back to a little bit larger fan fold, and you just you do it quick. It doesn't have to be perfect, because when you eventually pull it out, the fan fold part is really just the reason to hold it in place, so that when you start pulling the layers apart, then they kind of gather up looking like a flower. So that's really the purpose of it. So it does not have to be perfect. All right, so let me grab another pipe cleaner. I'm going to cut it in half because I don't need a whole pipe cleaner. I don't need to waste it. Let me go ahead and come on. And then we will just as tight as you can. Get it as tight as you can. Let me trim off my corners so that you have a flower shape. Okay. There we go. Ronnie, I want to see the rest of your flowers when you get them made. So you just open up and then you start pulling your tissue again. Hi, Jeannie. Welcome in. It's good to see you. Your enchiladas sounded delicious. Well, looked delicious. I didn't get to hear what you were saying, but thank you, Christina. I appreciate that. I am working on a Cinco de Mayo wreath. So it's not something I could stick on the front door. And because it's only one day. And so I don't need anything elaborate so you can see up here, I have a bunch of mesh wreaths, right above me, and then over on another wall. I made I used to do wreaths a lot, and I made them for every holiday, every season, and then there's only so many wreaths that you can make. So I thought, you know what? One I don't have is a Cinco de Mayo. So I thought I would do something. So I just took a cardboard cut. I took the number 10 can that I usually make my smash cans. Oh, you don't give up. You saw how quick you could whip them out. I just took the number 10 smash can, drew the circle for the center, and then what I did was I took a ruler, and just from that line, I measured 2 inches out, and then made my circle all the way around to kind of make a round circle, because if I cannot freehand it, cannot try drawing a circle freehand. It would not be a circle. So, okay, there we go. So I'm just working on pulling these together. We only have a few minutes left. And then we'll close in prayer. And then what we'll do is, if you have not joined the Sacred Treasure House, it is a free group. You can join. And you can join from that page then and watch all the wonderful crafters. This group is a wonderful group. They are, well, thank you, Deborah. When I think of Cinco de Mayo, I think of the bright colors. There are all kinds of bright colors that they have, and they celebrate their holiday. All right. So let me just trying to get the last few of these layers, and we can get another one glued on. I've got green, blue, and white left. See if I can get this last one done before we close in prayer. Although if you work too fast, you start tearing them. It's okay. It's not, it hides. You hide it because it's tissue paper. It'll kind of cover up any mistakes you make. But I was pulling too hard, trying to do it too quickly, and I can see where I started kind of tearing it a little bit. Okay, so on the back one, I am just pulling, oops, that was folded over on itself, so it didn't, there we go, okay. So that was just a piece of the tissue paper that had folded over on itself, and when I clipped it, it was separate, so I just pulled it out so that it wouldn't hang. So I'm just working on the back layers and pulling the back to the back. And then you can, once you do that, you can push them back toward the front. Okay. I have a couple minutes left. All right. I got the blue to pull apart here from the green, and then we will see where we're at on time by that point, and we'll close in prayer. Okay. Just got to separate the blue and the green from this side, and pull the other piece of white that I didn't pull from. Sorry, I'm trying to work fast. I know it's really boring. I am sorry. It's kind of hard when you're not right here doing it. Okay, there we go. Got the last piece. Okay, so now I'm just going to take the back and I'm just kind of combing it forward, and it'll kind of fluff up the flowers. All right. I'm going to clip off my stem here. And, yep, we are perfect. 2 minutes left. We'll close in prayer. We'll pray for Risa in her healing. I know it's a long, slow road. We'll pray for Risa. And if there's anybody else that needs any prayer requests, feel free. You can message me. I'm happy to, if you don't feel comfortable sharing any specific prayer requests online. I totally understand. I get it. You can message me directly. I'm happy to pray for you either directly, individually, or just add you to my prayer process and my prayer list on a regular basis. I am happy to do that. And I am always up for a good healing. Right, Christina Porter? We prayed for Christina, and God had gifted her the opportunity to have this surgery and be pretty much pain-free for the entire time that she has been through this. Now, that's not saying that she hasn't had some pain, but for most part, how painful having a shoulder surgery and all of the therapy that goes with it, she has been telling us that she has been fairly pain-free. And which that is not my doing, that's God's doing. Give God the glory for that. All right, so let's go ahead and close in prayer real quick. We have only a minute. We'll refresh your screen and join and see Lindell and what she is doing at Lindell's Craft Escape. All right. Dear Lord, we just come to you and we petition to you for any blessings, any and all blessings to everyone who has been able to join this live today, and everybody all the crafters who have participated in this event. Lord, we just ask that you bless every single one who has been a part of this entire day of celebrating Cinco de Mayo. And Lord, we just ask that you be with each and every one of them, reveal yourself to them. In this name, in your name, we pray. Amen. Thank you, guys. God bless. Thank you for joining. Please go over, refresh your screen for Sacred Treasure House, and let's go see Lindell. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. God bless.